Welcome. Global temperatures increased 0.6 of 1 degree Celsius between 1970 and 1998, at the precise time that depletion of the ozone layer was increasing, forming the Antarctic ozone hole. Global temperatures increased in another 0.3 of 1 degree from 2014 to 2016, at the precise time that depletion of the ozone layer was increasing, associated with the largest subaerial extrusion of basaltic lava in 235 years. Meanwhile, concentrations of carbon dioxide rose steadily. Greenhouse warming theory has no explanation for the sudden changes in temperature trends around 1970, 1998, and 2014. Greenhouse warming theory is based on mathematical assumptions about what heat is physically and how heat flows that have no basis in physical reality. These assumptions were made in 1798 and in 1822, long before scientists discovered that matter consists of atoms and molecules, and long before scientists discovered that oscillation of all the bonds holding matter together determine the physical properties of what we measure as temperature, thermal conduction, and thermal radiation. There is no way known in physics or in photochemistry that greenhouse gases absorbing low-energy infrared radiation can warm Earth. The science supporting such a revolutionary and game-changing conclusion is remarkably clear and unambiguous. Scientists who do not agree are not well informed. Changes in the temperature of Earth's surface are determined by the physics of heat. Unfortunately, not one of the tens of thousands of peer-reviewed scientific papers supporting the current massive greenhouse warming consensus questions these mathematical assumptions about the physics of heat. Air in the stratosphere is heated from above when solar ultraviolet-C radiation dissociates primarily molecules of oxygen, and solar ultraviolet-B radiation dissociates primarily molecules of ozone, in endless cycles for as long as the radiation exists. Upon dissociation, molecular pieces fly apart at high velocities. Temperature of air is well known to be proportional to the square of the average velocity of all atoms and molecules making up the gas. All ultraviolet-C radiation has been consumed before reaching the bottom of the ozone layer. Most ultraviolet-B solar radiation is absorbed within the ozone layer. When the ozone layer is depleted for any reason, more ultraviolet-B radiation is observed to reach Earth, where it dissociates ground-level ozone pollution. This explains why warming since 1970 has been greater in polluted urban areas. This explains why warming has been twice as great in the Northern Hemisphere, where 87% of the people live. This explains why warming has been the greatest in polar regions during late winter, where and when ozone depletion is greatest. Today we're in the midst of a scientific revolution in our understanding of what heat is physically and how heat physically flows. But climate scientists are dragging their feet. They refuse to consider the possibility that their massive consensus could be wrong. Because climate scientists continue to urge public leaders to take immediate action to reduce emissions of greenhouse gases, greenhouse warming theory is rapidly becoming the most expensive mistake ever made in the history of science. World leaders and all citizens of the world should demand immediately that climate scientists prove their assumption that greenhouse gases are the cause of global warming. They cannot do it. It is not physically possible. It is time to deal with a mistake and move on. Major warming in future decades predicted by computer models based on greenhouse warming theory cannot and will not happen. We may burn fossil fuels safely, provided we minimize pollution. The science is explained in detail on the website whyclimatechanges.com and the interconnected website ozonedepletiontheory.info. I hope you enjoy your quest for new understanding. and I hope that we can all work together to improve the quality of our lives on Earth.